There's a strange truth about greatness that most people don't want to admit. The path to real progress often runs straight through discomfort. The things that suck, the things we avoid, the things we push off until tomorrow, that's where growth hides. It's easy to get excited when things are fun, when they come naturally, when you're in the zone. But what about the days when the alarm goes off and every fiber of your being wants to stay in bed? What about the workout that burns, the book that's boring but important, the conversation that's awkward but necessary? That's when character is forged. That's when grit kicks in. Because doing what sucks isn't about being a masochist. It's about becoming someone who doesn't run from difficulty. When you train yourself to walk toward the hard stuff, you start separating yourself. Most people avoid pain. Most people seek comfort. But you do what sucks. You willingly choose the uphill battle. You say yes to the cold shower, the tough project, the long run, the discipline it takes to say no to quick fixes. The truth is, success isn't built on motivation, it's built on repetition. It's built on habits, and the habits that truly move the needle usually aren't glamorous. Waking up early to work on your craft, making the boring but healthy meal, studying when you'd rather scroll. That stuff sucks, but it matters. That's the grind, and the grind builds something in you that can't be faked. You want to be mentally strong, emotionally tough, physically unstoppable. Then make it your mission to hunt down the things that make you uncomfortable. Not because you're trying to impress someone, but because deep down, you know that the version of you who can do hard things consistently is unstoppable. When others break, you build. When others quit, you dig deeper. Not because it's easy, but because you've trained in the fire. You've chosen the path that sucks, and that path, ironically, is the one that leads to pride, purpose, and power. So next time you're staring down something that feels hard, boring, painful, or just plain uncomfortable, smile. That's the sign you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid discomfort. It's natural, we're wired to seek safety, ease, and convenience. But what we forget is that growth never happens in comfort zones. Real progress begins the moment you step into something that challenges you, stretches you, or even scares you a little. Discomfort is not the enemy. It's a signal that you're moving beyond your current limits. Think about it. When you first learned a new skill, it was awkward, maybe even frustrating. But you stuck with it, and over time, what once felt impossible became second nature. That transformation didn't come from staying comfortable. It came from embracing the uncomfortable process of learning, failing, adjusting, and pushing forward. Growth demanded that temporary pain. That's true in the gym, in your career, in your relationships, and in your mindset. Discomfort forces you to adapt. It forces you to pay attention. It sharpens your focus and reveals what you're really made of. It doesn't feel good in the moment, but that's what makes it so effective. Because when you push through the things that suck, when you stop running from what's hard, you start building resilience. You gain confidence, not the shallow kind built on compliments or quick wins, but the deep, unshakable kind that comes from doing the work no one else wants to do. The people who grow the most are the ones who lean into what feels hard. They chase discomfort on purpose because they know what's on the other side. They've seen it, more strength, more skill, more self-respect. So when life gets uncomfortable, good. That's your chance to grow. That's the path. That's where change happens. And the more you choose that path, the more unstoppable you become. Motivation is fleeting. It's a spark, powerful when it's there, but unreliable when you need it most. It comes and goes with your mood, your energy, or the weather outside. But discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline shows up when motivation vanishes. It's the engine that keeps you moving when the excitement wears off and everything in you wants to quit. Relying on motivation is like trying to sail without wind. You're at the mercy of something you can't control. But discipline is the oar in your hands. It's the force you apply every single day, no matter what. It's getting up early because your goals matter more than your comfort. It's going to the gym when you're tired, studying when you're bored, and following through when no one is watching. Discipline is the quiet power behind every long-term achievement. It's not flashy, it's not dramatic, but it's consistent, and consistency beats intensity over time. Anyone can give 100% for a day, but discipline is what lets you give 80% for 1,000 days, and that's where success lies. The truth is, if you want real results in your body, your mindset, your work, your life, you have to build systems that don't rely on how you feel in the moment. Discipline is that system. It's the habit of showing up regardless. It teaches you to lead yourself even when things suck, even when progress is slow, even when nobody claps. Eventually, something powerful happens. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop waiting for the right moment. You simply do the work, and in that, you become dependable, focused, relentless. Because when discipline becomes who you are, success becomes inevitable, not because it's easy, but because you no longer need motivation to keep moving. Mental toughness isn't something you're born with, it's something you build, and the only way to build it is by doing hard things. When you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, especially the ones you'd rather avoid, you begin to strengthen the part of you that refuses to quit. Every time you face resistance and push through it, your mind gets stronger. It learns that pain isn't permanent, that fear can be managed, and that struggle is survivable. Doing hard things gives you proof. Proof that you can suffer and still show up. Proof that you can fail and still keep moving. Proof that discomfort won't destroy you. That kind of proof rewires your self-belief. It teaches you that the voice in your head telling you to quit is just noise, not truth. You stop backing down from challenges because you've trained yourself to lean in instead of pull away. Mental toughness isn't about being fearless. It's about being courageous in the face of fear. It's the discipline to keep going even when motivation dies. It's the mindset that says, I can handle this, no matter what this is. And the only way to gain that mindset is through experience, real, raw experience with discomfort, failure, and fatigue. There's no shortcut. You can't read your way into mental toughness. You can't wish your way into resilience. You have to earn it, and earning it means doing the things that suck. The early mornings, the extra reps, the honest conversations, the lonely hours of focused effort. That's the work, and every time you do it, every time you choose hard over easy, you're sharpening your edge. You're becoming someone who doesn't fold under pressure, someone who stays solid, no matter how heavy life gets. Most people start strong. They show up with energy, set goals, and talk big. But somewhere along the way, they fade. Why? Because consistency is hard, especially when it involves doing things that suck. It's easy to be great for a day. It's easy to work hard when you're motivated. But true separation, the kind that puts you ahead of 95% of people, comes from doing the difficult things day in and day out, even when you don't feel like it. When you commit to consistency, especially in areas others avoid, you start to gain a quiet edge. It's not dramatic. You're not making headlines, but you're building something real. Every early morning, every hard workout, every uncomfortable choice stacks on top of the last one. And that stack, that's your separation. That's your foundation. It doesn't happen overnight. It's built in silence. It's earned in repetition. The ones who win long-term are not always the most talented. They're the ones who stayed when others left. They kept showing up when it wasn't fun. They did the work when no one else was watching. That's what separates the doers from the dreamers. It's not one big moment. It's thousands of small ones, done well and done consistently. Consistency in doing what sucks teaches you discipline, patience, and perseverance. And those qualities compound over time. Eventually, people will look at you and call it talent, luck, or natural ability. But you'll know it was none of those things. It was your willingness to keep showing up, your refusal to quit. Your decision to lean into the hard stuff when everyone else was making excuses. Comfort is seductive. It lures you in with ease, with routines that feel good in the moment but slowly drain your potential over time. It convinces you that rest is reward and that struggle is something to be avoided. But the hard truth is this: comfort kills ambition. It softens your edge, it dulls your drive, and the longer you stay in it, the harder it becomes to break out. Progress lives where comfort ends. Every breakthrough, every transformation, every step forward comes from stepping into something unfamiliar. Discomfort is the birthplace of growth mentally, physically, emotionally. But most people never get there because they're too busy avoiding anything that feels hard. They want the result, but not the resistance. They want the outcome, but not the effort. The problem with comfort is that it creates the illusion of safety. You feel fine, nothing's wrong, but that's exactly the danger. Growth requires stress. It requires pressure. It requires you to stretch beyond what you think you can handle. That's where you learn. That's where you evolve. You don't become stronger by doing what's easy. You become stronger by willingly doing what's difficult over and over. And when you do that, you stop fearing discomfort. You start seeking it because you know it's a sign you're on the right path. The people who grow the most are the ones who get comfortable being uncomfortable. They understand that staying in the same place feels safe, but over time it's the riskiest move of all. The world will keep offering you comfort, shortcuts, distractions, excuses, but none of those will get you where you truly want to be. If you want to rise, to build, to lead, to conquer, you have to let go of comfort and walk boldly into discomfort, again and again. In the end, the difference between who you are and who you want to be comes down to your willingness to do what sucks. Not once, not when it's convenient, but every single day. The hard things, the ones that test your patience, challenge your limits, and demand your full effort, are the very things that shape you. They build your mindset, sharpen your discipline, and reveal your strength. Comfort never gave anyone greatness. It's through discomfort that resilience is built, confidence is earned, and progress becomes permanent. Every time you choose to face the hard road, you separate yourself from those who make excuses. You rise while others rest. You grow while others plateau, and slowly, without applause or shortcuts, you become someone powerful, not because you had it easy, but because you kept showing up when it was hard. That's what it takes. That's what it means to lead yourself.